Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to a special edition of the Dr. Quack podcast. Today's episode is dedicated to Aaron Hernandez. Rest in peace, my friend. You know, I hope to God they figure out what really happened. I know a lot of people right now, they think he done it. They think he committed suicide. He was found dead in his cell, hung. They thought he committed suicide. I don't believe that. I do believe, that this could have been murder. It's possible in my opinion. Not saying it is, not saying it ain't. It's just my opinion. But I do believe it. I feel like, the guy just got found not guilty on a double homicide. Not guilty on all counts. And they said there was no mental disturbance with him since then. There was no issues going on like that. There was no suicide note. There was no reason to think of suicide outside of a hanging. I feel like this was an inside job. I feel like this was something that and it could have happened, never know. I'm throwing probability out there. And someone could have came into his cell, possibly drugged him, gave him an overdose. Somebody could have done something prior and then hung him. People act like the system's not corrupt. We all know the system can be very corrupt. And I'm sure some people have seen it firsthand. I don't know if he did or didn't do it. I'm really waiting for this toxicology and autopsy report. I know that's going to be several weeks down the road. And I'm sure this is not a dead issue after today. I just hope to God they find out the truth, It's a very sad day for me on this. I mean, you can say what you want about him, but Aaron Hernandez was a great player. He really was. He got drafted low. He hung with the wrong crowd. He came out there and, he got drafted in the fourth round because of it, because he hung with the wrong crowd and did things in college that was considered detrimental, to his behavior. This is painful. I can't even joke on it. This is very painful. I just, all I want is the truth. If he did do it, I'll eat my words. And I'll admit it. I'm wrong. But in my heart, in my mind, I don't believe it. Even the murder trial, from what I saw, this is just going off what I saw. And I followed it relatively closely. There was no concrete evidence, in my opinion. There was nothing that, put him to the gun with the trigger and pulled him. Pulled the trigger and killed that guy. There's only circumstantial evidence. Could he have, was he there? Probably so. I'm not going to say he was or wasn't. Don't know. But there was nothing concrete. There was nothing there. He was getting ready to go to an appeal after this. And his lawyers thought they had a really strong chance of getting it overturned and found not guilty. That is something that could have happened. And we won't know now because he's now deceased. And they're not going to pursue that. Nobody's going to know for sure. I just, the biggest thing I really feel for right now is his daughter. For any daughter to lose their father like this it's got to be heart-wrenching, I feel bad for the families as well that got involved, I don't know if he did it. I don't know. Nobody knows, In my opinion, he was found guilty in court, but nobody definitely knows that was there. There was no witness that testified, he pulled the trigger and killed him. There was no confession. I really think this was a strong witch hunt on a celebrity to make a point out there to the rest of the world that just because you're a celebrity doesn't mean you're above the law. Don't know. I guess hopefully we'll find out someday on that. But I got my friends around me. They've been keeping me strong. They know this is an emotional thing for me. In a lot of ways, this kind of reminds me of Chris Benoit. Because Chris Benoit was, allegedly, killed his wife, killed his child, and then hung himself. I didn't see any definitive proof there either. Nobody knows. That could have been, murder suicide. It could have been somebody setting him up, just like this. Nobody knows. I'm glad I'm off today because I get to, at least mourn this a little bit. Kind of really sad about it. Just hope to God that we find the truth. That's all I really want. The biggest lesson I think anybody can take from this. The biggest lesson I think anybody can really take from this is watch who you hang out with. Those crowds, they can get you end up like this. They can really screw you up. So be careful, everyone. If you see somebody in trouble, get them out of it. A lot of people fall into the wrong crowds because they want to fit in. They just want to be accepted, and they think that's the way to go, and it's really not. But thank you all for tuning in. I know not everybody's going to agree with me on this. I've had criticism all morning for defending this. So I figured I'd put it out on a video. And if you don't agree with it, I understand. It's not your opinion, this is mine. And I just want to thank you all for tuning in. And, I hope to God we find out the truth. I might make some more videos later. I just don't know what I'm going to be talking about. All right.